on this December evening for the Zenith Data Systems Trophy match between Swindon Town and First Division Millwall. And Swindon Town, here they come, and they're led out by tonight's mascot, who's Tracy Richmond. She's 13 years old, comes from Bradford-on-Avon in Wiltshire, and attends the George Ward School in Melksham. Her favourite team is Swindon Town. Her favourite player is no longer with the club. That's Phil King, who's gone to Sheffield Wednesday. So a lovely night for Tracy, and she's getting a great round of applause from the Swindon Town fans here tonight. There's not many of them. It's a very sparsely attended game, the Zenith Data Systems Trophy match. A competition that's not really caught on yet, the Simod Cup as it formerly was known. Swindon did very well in that particular competition and got to the semi-finals, only to be denied a Wembley place by Luton Town, also from Division 1, on the Kenilworth Road plastic pitch. Here come First Division Millwall, and they've brought a healthy sprinkling of fans with them from London for the game. So obviously they'll be looking forward to escaping the county ground jinx, which has haunted First Division sides for many, many years. In fact, the last side to win here from Division 1 was West Ham United back in 1975 in the FA Cup. So long, long time ago. And there's Colin Calderwood getting the Player of the Month award for November, and how well he deserves it. Swindon Town's captain, Colin Calderwood. And there's Tracy. She's going to try and fire a shot past Fraser Digby in that Swindon goal. Not many second division strikers can beat him. Let's see if Tracy can. No, not on that occasion. And that's an excellent shot into the corner of the net. So Fraser Digby is beaten for the first time tonight. Can Millwall do the same? Let's run to the two teams for you. Firstly, Swindon in goal. It's Fraser Digby. At 2, David Kerslake. 3 is Paul Bodin. 4, Alan McLaughlin. 5 is Colin Calderwood, 6 is John Gittins, 7 Tom Jones, 8 Duncan Shearer, 9 is Steve White, 10 Ross McLaren, 11 Steve Foley, and the substitutes John Cormore and Paul Hunt. Millwall line up like this. In goal it's Keith Brannigan, 2 is Keith Stevens, 3 is Nicky Coleman, the former player who was here on loan for Swindon Town. At 4 it's Terry Hurlock, 5 David Thompson, 6 Alan McCleary, 7 is Jimmy Carter, 8 Gary Waddock, at 9 it's David Antrobus, who's taking the place of the injured Terry Shedingham, 10 is Tony Cascarino, 11 Les Briley, and the substitutes Stevenson and Dawes. We shall await with interest this particular game between two sides who like to get involved in the middle of the field and always give full-out effort. The substitutes for Millwall, their full names are Paul Stevenson and Ian Dawes. The referee tonight is Mr. Dennis Hedges, a very experienced official, and there he is officiating at the start of the match to decide who would like to kick off or who would like choice of ends. These two sides met a couple of seasons ago in Division 2 as Tracy leaves the field, and what a fine night it's been for her. And a lovely round of applause from the people here at the county ground tonight. Tonight, I'm sure she'll remember for a long, long time. We're all ready for the start of the game. As I was saying, in Division 2 a couple of seasons ago, these two sides met. And Millwall and Swindon drew 2-2 at the Den in a very good game. And it was a victory for Millwall here in the second meeting between the two sides. And we shall see what is the result of the encounter in this Zenith Data Systems Trophy match. Millwall have the kick-off, attacking the goal on our left. And it'll be interesting to see how both sides approach this game. It's a competition with not much kudos attached to it, and we shall see whether the two sides on view here tonight attacking in the same way as they would a normal league match. Swindon Hen have the first throw of the game. It's taken by David Kerslake, recent signing from Queen's Park Rangers. Fitting into the town side very well indeed. Steve White back to Kerslake. And a good cross in from the right-hand side, putting the Millwall defence immediately under pressure. Ball into touch, throw to Swindon once again. Plenty of early possession down this right-hand side of the field. Kerslake's low cross, and Swindon's first corner of the game in the second minute. It was Les Briley who conceded that particular corner kick, which will be taken by the number 7, Tom Jones, for Swindon tonight. Being near post, but away. It comes to Alan McLaughlin, who tries his luck. And unfortunately for him, it was well behind and wide of the target. Millwall's keeper making his debut for Millwall tonight. Normally in goal for the Lions is Brian Horn, but he's out of the side at the moment with injury. Steve White twisting and turning on the edge of that box. The referee's whistle goes. Keith Brannigan, the Millwall keeper, who cost £100,000 from Cambridge United. It's his first game for the Lions tonight. The ball is with Kerslake. Square, and here's Calderwood. Finding Jones. Nice work by Jones, finding Calderwood. Swindon move the ball around in the early stages, and Jones tries to make himself space for the shot, but it's blocked by the Millwall defence. And off Jones for the throw. So Swindon with the early pressure, and they'll have a free kick, which Jones will float in from this right-hand side. No, it's a short one to Kerslake. Kerslake looking far post. It's a good ball too. And it was a good header and a good save from Brannigan. White's header, bringing the young keeper into action pretty swiftly. David Thompson. So, the best chance in the early stages in the 4th minute of the match. It was a Steve White header at the far post, following a Kerslake cross. And much in the tradition of modern keepers, Brannigan takes the ball out of his own box and catches his attack offside. So good movement forward by the 10 defence. Ross McLaren. Steve White tries to flick it on, but only succeeds in finding Brannigan in that Millwall goal. Millwall have done so well in the First Division since promotion for the first time a couple of seasons ago, and a tremendous season last year. Not such a tremendous season this time round, but certainly well in with a shout of maintaining First Division status. Bowden's header. Calderwood finds McLaren. McLaughlin back to McLaren, on to Calderwood. So certainly Swindon finding the space in these early minutes. And on this occasion, it's an offside flag against Steve White. Antrobus then for Millwall. As Nicky Coleman hits the ball forward. Nicky Coleman, who played a few games on loan here for Swindon in the 4th Division Championship campaign of 1985-86. Proved himself a very popular player in the brief time that he was here. and was certainly involved in all the end-of-season celebrations that went on around that particular triumph for the football club. That's a long clearance from Digby, putting the Millwall defence under pressure, but the header back to Brannigan quite safe. It's Nicky Coleman. To Alan McCleary. And here's Thompson. Ross McLaren. Kerslake, and certainly Swindon taking the game to Millwall in the early minutes of play. The London side not yet able to force a way through the Town defence, and that's a long ball forward, looking for the run of Tony Cascarino, but Giddins tidying up very nicely indeed at the back, finding Fraser Digby. Shearer's header on, but Brannigan no problem. And there you'll see how sparse the crowd is tonight. That's the visitors' enclosure behind Brannigan's goal. Not many have made the journey down from Millwall. And indeed, the North Stand opposite to where we are is pretty empty too. So the Zenith Data Systems Trophy not really endeared itself yet into the heart of the great British public. But it does present clubs like Swindon Town an excellent chance of getting to a Wembley final. Here's Jones. All through the middle. Bodin, far side. Jones forward. Up goes Calderwood, and a judge to have fouled Cascarino, so the Lions from Millwall get the free kick. Tony Cascarino, of course, who will be quite a large part of Jack Charlton's Republic of Ireland World Cup plans next summer. Briley with the ball forward. Briley once again, back after injury. And looked like a foul by Paul Bodin, but it's a throw to Millwall. Terry Hurlock tries to head the ball forward, but only cut out successfully there by Ross McLaren. Swindon cope quite easily at the moment with the attacking threat of Millwall. Not much has been seen of Tony Cascarino up front. Tom Jones battling away in midfield, does well. Finds Kerslake. Good ball forward by Jones, but that was well intercepted by Thompson at the heart of that Millwall defence, and it gives the chance for the London side to break forward. Keith Stevens to Terry Hurlock, but Giddins is across quickly. Calderwood rather is across quickly and cuts out the danger. Finding McLaren with a square free kick. McLaughlin bursting forward after that fine layoff by Steve White, faced by two Millwall defenders, and finding Foley. On to White, good football here by Swindon as they probe for a way through. It's with David Kerslake. We'll try a shot, and not a bad effort, but too high and wide of the target. Still goalless then over the 10-minute mark. And it's Swindon who've come closest through Steve White's early header, and David Kerslake just a few moments ago had a little pot of goal, but it was way wide. But Millwall, no threat from them as yet. Here's Calderwood. That's a chance to advance on goal. McLaughlin tries to lay it off. Foley in midfield, does well, does Foley. It's not quite sure whether that was meant as a pass or a shot. In any event, it went behind for the goal kick. McLaughlin finds Shearer, and back to Jones. The run of Bodin is outside him, but he has McLaren square. And perhaps Swindon's football a little intricate at the moment. When it gets to the edge of the box, it's breaking down. And Trabus back helping his defence to Cascarino. Good challenge from behind by Tom Jones, denies Cascarino. Throw taken by Coleman. Coleman finds Antrobus. And that'll be a corner kick. Millwall's first corner of the game. And we're in the 14th minute. Nicky Coleman with his flag kick then for the Lions. And looking far post. And for the run of the Millwall attack, but it's away, and Steve White tried to lay it off, but only succeeded in finding a Millwall defender. And the ball is played forward by the number 6, Alan McCleary. Antrobus tries to find Jimmy Carter. Not much seen of his pace so far. Here's Briley. Nicky Coleman now swings across in from that left-hand side. Up goes Gittins. And Herlock forced to head the ball back to his number 2, Keith Stevens. Briley, Herlock, and it's all a bit short passing, good short passing, but not really advancing very far. Here's Antrobus though, finding space on the edge of the box. A shot from Cascarino, and he brings the first real save of the game out of Fraser Digby. So he hit that first time, did Cascarino, and what a fine effort it was too from Antrobus's layoff. Goes Cascarino, here's Coleman. Tries a shot, it's a good one too, and Fraser Digby saw it all the way and had his body well behind it, so no problem there for the Town number 1. Fraser Digby, who's been rated this season in the £1 million class, and some of the saves he's brought off, well, it's not difficult to see why. Gittins finds Ross McLaren. And the run of Steve Foley was brought to an abrupt halt, but not illegally, says referee Hedges, so the ball goes straight through to Brannigan. over the 15-minute mark. We still await the first goal. White's header, looking for McLaughlin. Here's Bowden. Back to Gittins, and he'll find square. David Kerslake. Kerslake again tries a shot, a bit closer this time to his previous effort, but a similar response really, and behind into the Stratton bank. David Kerslake though, who's fitted in well into the Swindon Town lineup since his move from Queen's Park Rangers, a neat, tidy player. Brannigan with the goal kick for Millwall. David Hockaday, the regular right back for Swindon, he's out with a fractured cheekbone, sustained it in one of the Littlewoods Cup matches with Bolton. If memory serves, it was the first replay at Burnden Park, but there were so many of them that lose track really. 4 games between the two sides, eventually seeing Swindon through to face Southampton in the Littlewoods Cup. And Swindon will be involved in a replay with the Saints very shortly, after a 0-0 draw at the county ground. Here's Kerslake, has the run of Jones outside him. Comes inside, this time to Ross McLaren. Great ball from McLaren, into space for Jones to fire and across. And at the far post was Shearer. And it just evaded the Scotsman's head. And behind for the goal kick. Tremendous football by Swindon, great ball in the first instance by McLaren. And Kerslake's cross was good and accurate to the far post. John Gittins will just roll that back to Fraser Digby. Flag comes up for a foul on Steve White, so a free kick in a good position for Swindon. Paul Bowden likes to cross that ball in from the left. Chance for a shot from McLaughlin, well charged down by the Millwall defence. And here's McLaren. Kerslake once again, he's been involved in many Swindon attacks already this evening. Here's Foley. Kerslake a chance to cross once again. Does so, looking far post, but easily away by the Millwall defence. And a chance for the Lions to break now through Keith Stevens. In fact, it's the pace of Carter who takes on Paul Bowden. And Bowden wins. Paul Bowden, who's done very well indeed at the Swindon Town #3 spot since the move of Phil King to Sheffield Wednesday. And a possibility perhaps that Welsh international manager Terry Oreth may come looking at him in the not too distant future. Carter once again for Millwall, and once again he's blocked by Bowden, but there's a chance to cross it in once again, but it's away. Good defensive work by Swindon here, and a quick break. Breaks down through the challenge of Terry Hurlock. Calderwood. And a long, hopeful ball forward that succeeds in just allowing this clearance from Brannigan. McLaughlin onto Foley. And it's a chance for Jones to break now as the ball goes past the Millwall defence, and no foul is given, although Jones did appear to be brought down from behind by Gary Waddock, but the referee waves play on. Well, there's a chance for Swindon once again to put pressure on that Millwall defence, although on this occasion he does blow his whistle when Swindon have possession. So a decision not to please the Swindon fans, really. Although their side do have a free kick, and in fact it's Thompson who's going to go into the referee's notebook, the first caution of the evening, for saying one or two words out of place, I dare say. There are confirmation of the yellow card, so free kick to Swindon. Referee making sure that the Millwall wall is the Millwall wall. Here we are, as a new name for it. The Millwall wall is 10 yards back. As the free kick is taken by Bodin, the shot blocked and to Kerslake. He has McLaren behind him. He's faced by two Millwall defenders, but will find McLaren. McLaughlin back to Kerslake, who'll cross in this time, and it's a good one. Testing Brannigan, and he's well up to that test. So we're midway through the first half, and we still await the first goal. Ross McLaren then, looking for Duncan Shearer, who has Kerslake outside him. Kerslake really is involved tonight in an attacking responsibility, and indeed he forces the corner. Described as a utility player, David Kerslake, so he's obviously used to playing in a variety of roles. McLaughlin then, back to Tom Jones, blocked by Briley, finding Carter. Briley's route to goal is cut off by Steve White, so he goes across field, which brings a ride cheer from the Swindon Town fans, because early in the season Swindon played Bournemouth here, and Paul Bodin did much the same, only to find George Lawrence of Bournemouth, who promptly took the ball and stuck it in the Swindon net. Here's John Gittins, good work by him, finding Kerslake. Tom Jones. And does well, does Jones, but Nicky Coleman sticks to his task very well indeed. McLaughlin's found by Jones, but the ball difficult to take, and the result is that it's a goal kick. Thompson cleared that more by luck than judgment, and the ball is played into that Swindon territory, Millwall territory rather, and cleared by the Millwall defence for the throw to Swindon. Here's Kerslake finding McLaughlin. And straight through, his shot to Brannigan. Certainly been Swindon's first 25 minutes, put Millwall under a lot of pressure and played the better football. Although there are signs at times that Millwall, when they do go forward, can certainly play the ball around a little bit. And here's McLaren. Good ball for Foley. Under White. There's Foley on the edge of the box. Here's Shearer, appeals for offside. And looks none too pleased, Duncan Shearer, but the linesman's flag obviously proving positive for Millwall. Clearance then by Digby. It's a long one, left-footed, and into Millwall territory. For Kerslake to advance forward, and that's well cut out. And there's a chance, and it's a great effort from Paul Bowden, I do believe, who rattled that post. And there he is, the Town number 3, Paul Bowden. A really tremendous shot from him. And the closest we've come to a goal so far, apart from an early Steve White header, which brought a save out from this man, Brannigan. So both Swindon fullbacks well involved in the attacking play this evening. Gittins header. Looking for Jones and finding him. Digby with a throw and finding Kerslake. Jones taking it down well and looking for the shield of Duncan Shearer. And a shot from McLaren. Well, it would have been felt by whoever got in the way of that one. And there's a chance for Cascarino on the halfway line, but just succeeds in finding Coleman, who's up in support. Coleman once again for Millwall. Cascarino very nearly with some neat control. McLaughlin's short layoff cut out by Briley in midfield, who's buzzing around as normal. Here's Calderwood. Shearer. Great ball off to Kerslake. Swindon get forward once again. It's a good cross from Kerslake. Here's a chance for Steve White if he hits it, and he does. The opening goal of the game in the 30th minute. David Kerslake's cross, Steve White's trap and shot, his 11th goal of the season. And Swindon's pressure at last pays off, and they take the lead in this Zenith Data Systems Trophy match. Swindon Town 1, Millwall 0. So Steve White, who was denied with that early header, made no mistake on that occasion. Tremendous piece of goal poaching from him. Took it on the chest. The cross from David Kerslake, and left Keith Brannigan no chance in that Millwall goal. So it's a lead deserved by Swindon. Plenty of pressure in the early stages, and certainly Millwall have posed little threat apart from Cascarino's shot. We shall see whether the Lions will now roar. Swindon manager Ozzy Ardiles off the bench. And I dare say pretty pleased with the situation his side find themselves in now. 1 up. And playing reasonably well against the First Division side. You can't really ask for more than that. Here's Kerslake, and, well, just as I say that, as always happens on those occasions, David Kerslake makes an elementary mistake, which everybody's done from time to time. Gittins, good work from him, under pressure. Inside that town box for Calderwood to find Fraser Digby. Offside flag against Alan McLaughlin, who seems a bit dumbfounded by the decision, but a decision is given nonetheless. Pending touch, and that's the situation. 1-0 Swindon lead against Millwall. Steve White's 11th of the season. Foley denied by Terry Hurlock. Two players very similar in style. Both like to get involved in midfield. And Terry Hurlock, those flowing locks now well renowned in the First Division. Steve Foley's had a haircut recently, so his locks don't flow quite so freely. Here's Ross McLaren. Great ball for Kerslake. And the pace of the ball off the pitch was too much, but Ross McLaren, he certainly does hit those crossfield balls with great accuracy, and has been a linchpin for Swindon in midfield really this season. Millwall then have just over 10 minutes in this first half to get back into the game. 1-0 down as McCleary plays the ball far side. And no problem there for Fraser Digby from the Keith Stevens pass. This, of course, a competition which has to be finished on the night. So if it's a draw after 90 minutes, then we go to extra time. And then if it's still a draw, then we have those dreaded penalties. And that's how Swindon went out of the Simod Cup semi-final, losing in extra time at Kenilworth Road. Mark Steen scoring the winner in a 2-1 win for the Hatters over Swindon. As here's Kerslake once again, and a great cross from him. He really is doing very well indeed down that right-hand side, David Kerslake. Was an excellent cross. And rightly gets a warm round of applause as he goes back to his full-back position. Steve White. Offside. Applauding the ball forward by Paul Bowden, but to little avail as Millwall have a free kick. And Keith Brannigan takes it. Giddins beaten in the air, but was judged to have been fouled by Cascarino, which I'll say is a little mystifying, but referee Hedges is the man with the whistle. Giddins. Jones away. McLaughlin. Kerslake. Cascarino then finding Briley, and Millwall have less than 10 minutes in which to level the score until half-time. It's Andrabus and Kerslake together, and the ball goes out for a throw to Swindon Town. Oh, and a moment of concern there for Swindon Town. There's Ross McLaren with the back pass, very nearly succeeding where Millwall have failed, finding the net. Stevens far side. They're on by Cascarino, looking for Herlock. But Bodin safely back to Fraser Digby. Alan McLaughlin finding Tom Jones. In for Foley and Gittins and Cascarino together. It was Gittins on that occasion who came out on top by finding Calderwood. Phil King, Paul Bodin rather. Ball forward. So Steve White was being pushed on that occasion, so it'll be a chance for Bodin perhaps to cross in from this left-hand side, and does so. Quickly, and a bit too quickly perhaps. Here's Kerslake, will try a shot, it's a good one too. Had accuracy, but perhaps not the power he would have liked. But it was certainly a good effort from some 20-odd yards. Antrobus. Jones, a little header back. Briley. And Millwall being forced backwards. They can't seem to advance too far by the Swindon Town midfield. As on that occasion, McLaren intercepting that forward ball. And here's McCleary. Stevens is far side. Less than 5 minutes remaining to the half-time whistle. Swindon still lead by that Steve White goal after half an hour. Herlock tries to get the ball forward. Once again, running into a bit of a blind alley because Swindon easily able to cope with this one in the shape of Fraser Digby. Shearer's header forward. Gittins. Digby is under no pressure here. That's a poor ball really though. A chance for Millwall to break forward. Carter, has he got the pace to get past Bodin? No. Superb piece of defensive work by the Swindon Town number 3. Excellent piece of work against one of the best wingers in the game. A chance for McLaughlin to pick up after Herlock's challenge, rather let Millwall down. Here comes McLaughlin then. But Bryony able to get the ball away. Cascarino's little nod down, finds Carter. But Steve Foley bustling back, and the Swindon Town midfield have done that very well indeed in this first half. close down Millwall so that the Lions really can't find any space on that pitch to make the Swindon Town defence suffer. Here is Ross McLaren off to Kerslake. And that's an effort into the side netting, and by Steve White. Duncan Shearer seems a little exasperated that the ball wasn't squared across, and Steve White, I dare say, acknowledging that fact. With just 3.5 minutes to go to the half-time whistle, it would have been an ideal opportunity to have taken a 2-goal cushion. As it is, it's a Steve White goal that still separates the two sides. Foley. That's the header forward. McLaren, and good work by him, cutting out any possible danger that Millwall may come up with on that occasion. Waddock then advancing down the right hand side for Millwall. Jimmy Carter. Gittins, and back to Fraser Digby. Kerslake, late challenge on him. Kerslake, the undoubted star of the first half, I'd say, for Swindon. Really done well down this right-hand side. And been involved in many of their attacking moves so far this evening. As Jones just lays it off to Ross McLaren. Gittins. Hit one perhaps, and does so. And that's a good effort from that distance. Gittins, who saw all the options really were closed down, and he gets an applause from Paul Bowden, and well, he might. It was a good effort. John Gittins. Last minute of the first half, and it's a first half that Swindon really have enjoyed the majority of play, and indeed there is the half-time whistle from referee Hedges. Swindon Town then go in at the half-time break, leading by a Steve White goal. It was a good goal in the 30th minute from a David Kerslake cross, his 11th of the season, and Swindon Town's play in this first half certainly deserving of that half-time lead. Millwall with just one real good chance, and that was from Tony Cascarino's volley, which was saved by Swindon keeper Fraser Digby. So as the teams go off at half-time, it's Swindon Town who lead in this Zenith Data Systems trophy match. The half-time situation, Swindon Town 1, Millwall 0. So, welcome back after your half-time refreshment to this second half of this Zenith Data Systems Trophy second round match between Swindon Town and Millwall. Steve White's goal on the half hour separating the two sides. And Swindon's play in the first half certainly deserving of that lead. As Antrobus tries to drive the Lions forward, but Tom Jones quickly in to stop his progress. Here's Androbus, far side. In for the injured Terry Sheringham, who is obviously Millwall's great striking partner to Tony Cascarino. And really they seem to have lacked a lot of sparkle up front tonight. And Swindon will look to get forward and perhaps consolidate this lead. And good play there on that occasion by Steve Foley. Here has Paul Bodin on his left-hand side and finds him. Bodin on a chance to cross in, does so, and that's an own goal from David Thompson. The Millwall centre half. Great piece of play by Foley, finding Paul Bodin, who drove in a low left-wing cross. And in only the second minute of the second half, Swindon go further in front through an own goal from David Thompson. Swindon Town 2, Millwall 0. And ironic cheers come up as the announcement of the tannoy system is made that it was David Thompson who put the ball into his own net. And that is Swindon's fourth own goal this season for them. 3 have been in the league, and now that one in the Zenith Data Systems Trophy. For a player, of course, whatever level he's at, the moment he sees the ball go into his own net off his foot, leg, arm or whatever, is one of those moments when he just wishes the ground would open up and he could disappear underneath it. But David Thompson, I'm sure, is a very good professional, and he'll battle down and see what he can do for the rest of the game. Jimmy Carter. And in fact, Thompson did score in a televised live match against Liverpool, when the Millwall lost 2-1 to the Merseysiders at the Den. But Thompson got a goal which brought Millwall back at 1-1, the game ending 2-1 to Liverpool. Stevens then for Millwall with the throw. Gittins nicely back to Fraser Digby. Good work by John Gittins on that occasion. Steve White. McLaughlin helps it on. Fortunately for him, it was in the wrong direction. Here's Steve White, great layoff by Shearer rather for McLaughlin. And finding McLaren. Bodin. Swindon it is, who are playing most of the football in midfield. They're all finding it difficult really to get into the game. As Kerslake has yet another opportunity to cross from the right-hand side. It's a good ball too. Away by the Millwall number 6, McCleary. And another of those square passes that you're told never ever to do at school. As Keith Stevens finds Hurlock. Waddock coming out on top in that particular encounter. Shearer, a good lie-on from the Fraser Digby clearance. Here's Foley for Swindon down this left-hand side, faced by two Millwall defenders, but not able to advance any further. Here's Carter, back to Stevens. Does well, does the Millwall fullback, finds Cascarino. And here's Herlock. Is he able to kick the ball in? No. Just returned after injury, Terry Herlock. Battling midfielder for the London side. (2-0) then to Swindon Town. Steve White, his 11th goal of the season, and an own goal from Millwall's Dave Thompson. And that's what separates the two sides at the present time. And really, in truth, Millwall have never threatened as though they would score a goal tonight. And Tony Cascarino has been policed very well indeed at the back by Swindon's central defensive partnership of John Gittins and Colin Calderwood, and it was Calderwood on that occasion who fouled Cascarino, so it's a free kick to Millwall. Here's Briley. But once again, Swindon's defence doing very well. On that occasion it was Kerslake, and as I praise him, he gives the ball away. But here's Calderwood. And Jones back to Gittins. Kerslake. Steve White has Alan McLaughlin outside him, but he was denied by the challenge of Les Briley. Tom Jones then, chance perhaps to cross at him, but he's quickly closed down by Millwall, but the cross comes in, and it's a good one too. And Brannigan had to be aware on that particular one. Bowden, fine ball back to his keeper Fraser Digby. Bowden, who scored in Swindon's 3-2 home defeat by Bournemouth from the penalty spot. And Millwall are going to make the first substitution of the game. Off goes Les Briley. Ian Dawes is going to take his place. So a change of captaincy here for Millwall. And we shall see who's going to take over the captain's role. And in fact, it's number 6, Alan McCleary. There's Briley, who's been out with injury. So a chance for him to have a good deal of the game tonight, 55 minutes. Ian Dawes, who's come on, he was a former teammate of David Kerslake, the Swindon fullback at Queen's Park Rangers. Jimmy Carter's header with that, but he finds McLaren in midfield for Swindon, and Kerslake's far side, but he elects to look for the further forward, Tom Jones. Waddock, good piece of play by him. There's Waddock again, but well cut out by the Swindon midfield. And here's McLaughlin, a chance for him to run at the Millwall defence. Has Shearer outside him, finds him, no flag from the linesman. Oh, what a poor ball though by Shearer, and he's very annoyed with himself, as you could see on that particular occasion. It was a good opportunity for Swindon, but Shearer obviously didn't look up, and the chance was wasted. Here's a chance for Millwall to get forward in the shape of Jimmy Carter. Stevens, ball into that Town defence, away by John Gittins. And Bowden. One to back pass that was very nearly intercepted by Antrobus. Ball allowed to bounce by the Millwall defence. McCleary not positive perhaps on that occasion. And Swindon keep up this stranglehold. They lead by 2 goals. And here's McLaughlin finding Foley. McLaren has Jones in space and finds him. Swindon looking to bounce back tonight, really, after a double blow of home defeats. They lost 3-2 to Bournemouth in Division 2, and the following Sunday lost by 2-0 at home to Sheffield United. That was a result which took United back to the top of Division 2. We already said that Swindon have had 4 own goals in their favour this season, but on that occasion John Gittins was unlucky enough to put through his own net. Here's Carter. So Swindon perhaps looking to get over their stutter tonight, and certainly showing signs at the moment of doing just that. Here's Giddins. McLaren, and great ball. What an excellent ball. Finding the run of David Kerslake. And a corner results, but an absolutely superb ball by Ross McLaren. Really did spread the play far side, inside the fullback. Tremendous ball. And there he is, Ross McLaren. £150,000 worth from Derby County. And looked every penny of it in that one particular pass. Here's Jones with the corner kick. Flicked on near post, chance for Shearer. It's blocked. McLaren. Here's Bowden. into the final half hour of the game, and it's still a 2-goal cushion for Swindon Town. Steve White in half an hour, and an own goal from Thompson in 46 minutes. That was a ball play forward by McLaren, and John Gittins now, after I think causing the infringement, will have to get all the way back to his defensive role. Cascarino, nice piece of play by him. Finding Carter, far side. Or Dawes, rather. And that is definitely what you would call a foul. As Alan McLaughlin picks himself up. He certainly felled on that occasion, and he's ready to carry on. Keeper Brannigan way out of his goal to take that particular free kick. It is the modern tradition, but many people would say it's a very dangerous thing to do if a side breaks quickly, as Swindon have done now. It's with Foley. Here's Bowden. Finding McLaren. And looking to feed Shearer, who goes down, but no foul, and Millwall play on. Bowden then breaking on this left-hand side, cutting inside, and is brought down. So there we are. That's one way to bring an end of a run, isn't it? And it's not a good position to give away a free kick in when you have the likes of Paul Bowden and Ross McLaren around. Both can hit a ball from distance, and this is a situation that they rather relish. Be interesting to see what happens on this occasion. Tom Jones is there, the architect of whatever will happen. And it'll be McLaren who will hit it, and it's a great effort and a good save too from Keith Brannigan. It really was a good free kick and tremendous save from Brannigan. Jones floats the cross in. McLaren again, and it's a tremendous shot. He really did hit that. So twice within the space of seconds, Ross McLaren coming very close indeed. Firstly saved by that man there, Brannigan, and the second just over the bar. Antrobus, far side then for Millwall. Just 25 minutes left. And won't get back into the game with a cross like that. Ross McLaren then, who came very close there on 2 occasions to scoring. And the ball breaks very kindly there for Dawes, far side. It'll be Tom Jones, far side for Swindon, crossing into that Millwall box. There's a chance for McLaughlin to hit it on the turn, and it was a good effort. Controlled it nicely, but was high and over the target. Alan McLaughlin, a revelation this season for Swindon Town. Forced himself into international reckoning for the Republic of Ireland. Yet to be made a full international cap. Many people are suggesting that that is not too far away. Cascarino beaten by the challenge of Calderwood. Here's Herlock playing it forward. Here's Cascarino again. It's inside that Swindon box. There's a chance. That's a great effort from Carter. Really tremendous piece of skill. Turned superbly there, Carter, and hit the underside of that bar. Tremendous effort, and very unlucky indeed. McLaren. Long ball forward then for Shearer. Midway through this second half, and still Millwall search to find a way back. 2 down. McCleary, the captain, with the ball forward. And Waddock in midfield lays the ball off for the Keith Stevens, the fullback, for Terry Herlock. On the edge of that box, away by Colin Calderwood. Herlock forward again for Waddock, looking for Cascarino, back by Gittins to Digby. Bowden then for Swindon, mopping up at the back, and very well indeed too, finding Foley. Here's McLaren. Infield for Tom Jones. As Swindon move very well indeed from defence into attack. Here's Bowden down the line looking for Jones on this left-hand side of the field. Jones faced by a Millwall defender, but does very well indeed. Low cross into that box, and Waddock is able to come away. Carter lays it infield. Cascarino can't get there, and Swindon mop up once again in midfield. Here's Waddock. Lay off to Dawes, the substitute for Millwall tonight. To Waddock, and it was all a bit tight in there for Millwall. Here's Stevens. Jimmy Carter. Great tackle by Foley. But Carter has the pace and gets the throw. Oh, that's a cracking effort from Waddock. That really is an absolutely splendid shot. First time, Gary Waddock swept that ball into the net, and Fraser Digby really didn't have a chance. Great goal from Gary Waddock, brings Millwall back into this game. A real snapshot. 25 minutes into the second half, Swindon Town 2, Millwall 1. Confirmation on the Tanai system, and described in the programme tonight as the medical miracle man. Once told his career was over following a knee injury, made his debut for the Lions against the next round opponents, Norwich City. And Norwich City is the prize, a home tie with that particular team that awaits the winners of this encounter. And what a great goal from Gary Waddock. So with 20 minutes to go, it's quite an interesting cup tie now, as Millwall have their best spell of the game. Santrabos tries to get it through for Cascarino. Here's McLaughlin. After Jones. A lofted pass over the top, and back to keeper Brannigan. Antrobus with a header up into the air, but McLaren will take that on his chest. Oh, good in. Loose back pass, but well picked up by Fraser Digby. Free kick, foul on Steve White. As Tom Jones has it and finds Ross McLaren, and very quickly Cascarino was onto him, but it's with McLaughlin. A chip over for Foley, crosses into that middle, and is danger for Millwall, but it all ends up rather untidily, and it all ends up as a goal kick to Millwall. So good work though by that man there, Steve Foley. Nice lofted little ball through. Swindon's first substitution of the evening. Steve Foley is the man to go off, to be replaced by John Cornwall. And Foley, who's had nasty ankle injury all season, back in first team place, but is being substituted now for John Cornwall, extra defender John Cornwall. Into that box, it's loose, and Digby had to be at his very sharpest there as Herlock came rushing in. Cornwall, far side. Shearer and looked to turn sharply, but the tackle denied him. Shearer beaten in the air, but here's a chance for Tom Jones to come forward on this left-hand side, normally operating on the right. That's Bowden in support, and finds him, and gets space for the cross. It's a low one near post, which caused problems earlier on, but not on that occasion. Into the last 15 minutes, that low cross from Bowden leading to the second goal when Dave Thompson sliced the ball into his own net. Here's Calderwood. Looking for the run of White, who's offside. McLaughlin picks it up in midfield for Swindon, and Looks near side for Tom Jones. Jones foraging forward now, finding White. Or hit it perhaps, but well blocked by Waddock, Millwall's goal scorer. And down goes Carter in a crumpled heap. And Millwall will get a free kick. McLaughlin, nice little layoff to Kerslake. And Kerslake looking to get forward on his own, but on that occasion took on one man too many. And Cascarino and Gittins, and Gittins victorious. Free kick for a spot of pushing, and that'll be back from Kerslake. And indeed the referee, wants a quiet word with Mr. Dawes. McLaughlin, little header forward. McLaren, what a great ball again from Ross McLaren. That's a real piece of class. Finding Tom Jones. Here's McLaren himself. Will try a shot. It's blocked. He really does strike a ball very well indeed, Ross McLaren. Good piece of work by Tom Jones in midfield. Skips past Herlock. And finds White with a good ball. White trying to find space for the shot. Oh. And the long legs of David Thompson just coming out at the last possible moment and taking the ball away from White. Here's Jones, but no. It's Herlock for Millwall. To nobody in particular, really, except for a throw to Swindon Town. Ross McLaren. And Duncan Shearer gets the throw. McLaughlin. To Jones. Was it Kerslake? Kerslake, sorry. And he's taking on Dawes. Inside the last 10 minutes of normal time. Should the score be level at the end of 90 minutes, then we'll be into extra time and possibly penalties. But at the way it stands at the moment, Swindon Town will go through into the next round of the Zenith Data Systems Trophy and a home tie with Norwich, leading by 2-1. Here's Tom Jones. Gets the corner. Away by Cascarino, back to Jones. And this time far post, Gittins down there for Calderwood, over his head. And just over the bar. So Swindon with a concerted effort to look for a third goal. Jones to Kerslake. Scampering little style of his, very neat, very compact. Not been figuring so much in the attacking moves of Swindon Town's second half. He was very prominent indeed first half. Gittins with a header. Cascarino's header. Here's Bowden, and was infringed upon, if there is such a phrase. So he has a free kick. Cornwall overhead kick, and no particular way through for that one, straight through to the keeper. Gittins, good strong header from him. McLaughlin after Tom Jones. McLaren. And Dawes couldn't control it. It goes into the into touch, and so Swindon have the throw inside the last 7 minutes of the match. White finding McLaughlin. Kerslake. Dawes into touch. Calderwood. All a little bit scrappy in these closing stages of the match, and Hurlock perhaps with that ball there will release Jimmy Carter. And does well, does Carter, gets past Calderwood, fires it across, and Gittins intercepts. Here's Calderwood for Jones, but Antrobus is there quickly for Millwall and finds Carter. But all to no avail, except to find Fraser Digby in that same goal. Cornwall tries to help that one on, but failed to. And Millwall have the throw, far side. Here's McCleary. Into the number 2, Keith Stevens. And well cut out by Colin Calderwood, Bowden, and back to Digby. By Shearer, and very nearly intercepted that back pass by Steve White, but not able to do so successfully on that occasion. And Thompson will find Brannigan, who's done well on his debut. Keith Brannigan really looked impressive at times and made one brilliant save from Ross McLaren. Here's Antrobus, edge of the box. And behind for the corner kick to Millwall inside the last 5 minutes. And Millwall throwing men forward now in an effort to force extra time. They're 2-1 down. But on that occasion, their efforts to get forward fail. It's Fraser Digby with the goal kick. And up goes McCleary, wins that one in the air. Gittins beaten by Cascarino. Here's David Kerslake, far side for Swindon. If he 4 doors can make it, finds Cornwall. Here's the manager, Ozzy Ardiles, who favours the method of Kenny Dalglish to stand up watching the game on the bench, and he's certainly vociferous in his instructions to his side. Knows that he's only 2.5 minutes away from getting their team into the next round of the Zenith Data Systems Trophy. Doesn't want them to do anything stupid at this stage, and that's a free kick given away in a dangerous position, especially with men like Cascarino about. And Nicky Coleman is the man to take it for Millwall. Good kick too, away by Steve White, as everybody's back for Swindon. It's well blocked by McLaughlin, and the spin of the ball deceives everybody. Carter. Waddock. And that's a poor ball, makes McCleary go back. And as he does so, time begins to run away from Millwall. Carter. Herlock looking to find Carter, but can't do so. Here's Tom Jones. Cornwall. Oh, that's a great ball, freeing Alan McLaughlin, but McLaughlin has little option. And an offside flag against Steve White. Inside the last minute of normal time. And Swindon still lead this game by 2-1. Steve White and an own goal from David Thompson. Gary Waddock in reply for Millwall. And the whistle's coming up from the crowd. Over 3,000 people here tonight. Swindon's lowest gate of the season. But an entertaining game for all that. And there is the full-time whistle. Referee Hedges brings proceedings to a close, and it's Swindon Town who will entertain Norwich City in the 3rd round, the southern quarter-final of the Zenith Data Systems Trophy. The goals coming from Steve White after 30 minutes, his 11th goal of the season. An own goal in 46 minutes from David Thompson, a 2-goal cushion for Swindon. But Gary Waddock replying with an absolutely splendid shot. 15 minutes from time, not sufficient for Millwall in this match, and it didn't save it for them. The Lions of London go out to the Robins from Wiltshire. Swindon Town then in his Zenith Data Systems Trophy match, winning the game by 2-1. This is Vic Morgan of BBC Wiltshire Sound, hoping you've enjoyed the match, and good evening.
Division 1. Oh yeah, definitely. It was also a nice game to play in, you know, because everybody was knocking it about, and it was a good chance for us to get back on the winning trail.
You always seem comfortable against them. Were you surprised with the way you played?
I think so, yeah. Especially them, because they're very. I don't know what's wrong with them tonight. Like maybe they thought it was an easy cup and that, but we certainly didn't. You know, it's a chance for us to maybe get an appearance at Wembley, and if it means beating teams like that, then we'll have to do it.
I think it's fair to say in the first half that Millwall only had one effort of note. That was from Cascarino.
Oh, I never noticed. That just shows you how much we were on the attack. If I didn't really notice any of their attacks, so well, it's nice to see the defence showing up.
Steve White took his goal very well indeed.
Definitely, yeah. I said to him at half time, if he'd hit it low, I mean, he would have missed it, because there was 2 sliding in plus the keeper, and he's hit it high. So I mean, you know, that's where the gap was.
Now you've got another First Division side at home. That's Norwich City. How do you view that one?
I think it'll be hard again, you know, but we'll be looking forward to it.
A lot of cup games between now and Christmas, of course.
Yeah,
so the festive season's not going to be an easy one for you.
No, it's not. Then again, it could be a very good one for us, you know. I mean, the more cup games we have, the better. The more cup games we have, the more chance we've got of getting near the finals.
Sign tonight, perhaps, that the old confidence is coming back after a recent little run.
Yeah, I mean, it was good for us to get this game tonight, especially with the West Brom game coming up. You know, it's nice to see the boys smiling again in the changing rooms. You know, we weren't really panicking. We knew we still had it. It was just a matter of, I think, getting the first goal gives us all confidence, and we did that tonight, and we just went on, and I think we more or less controlled the game.
Okay, Duncan Shearer, thanks very much, Ozzy Ardiles. Obviously delighted to have beaten Millwall.
Yes, delighted. I think we play very well. We thoroughly deserve our win, so delighted especially to come back to our winning ways.
The only time when you looked perhaps a little bit uncomfortable was just after they'd scored.
Yeah, we obviously, they are a First Division team. They were going to be able to put under some kind of pressure, but to be honest, it wasn't that much. I believe that I mean, in the first half we were the much better team. In the second half as well. Maybe when they scored, yeah, we were playing a bit deeper, maybe.
The pattern of the game set very early on when Steve White's effort was saved by the keeper, and Swindon kept coming forward.
Yeah, we are going a team that go forward all the time. As you can see, we are going with the right back, with the left back, and so on. Particularly happy with David Kersley today. I think he played his best game in right back. He's not, like I said before, he's not his real position, but he did play well today. But when we go forward in numbers. The right back, left back, midfield, and everybody. So this is what we were doing right from the beginning.
And another First Division side in the shape of Norwich City.
Yes, it's going to be very tough. It's one of the best teams in the league, but we're looking forward to it.
Okay, manager Ozzy Ardiles who got the opening goal.
Yes, it's always nice to score. As I say, we played quite well tonight. I thought Dave Kersley put a couple of good crosses in. Could have scored just before with a header. Came over the back of the defence, controlled it, and just let fly. It happened to go in the top of the net, which I was pleased about. Yes.
You were unlucky with that first header, weren't you? It's a great cross from the right.
Yeah, it was a great cross. Not really unlucky. I should have scored. I hit the target. I was concentrating on that. But if I headed it down, I would have probably scored.
Now, Norwich City is a side that you know very well indeed, because you've played them in the FA Cup and the Simod Cup over the last few seasons.
Yes, that's true. Obviously, they've improved tremendously over the last 2 or 3 years, and they play a short passing game. It should be a good game. It should be a very interesting game.
Before that, you've got West Bromwich Albion away in the league.
Yes, our next game, West Brom Sunday. Hopefully we can get back to picking up some points in the league now. We've had 2 games where we've lost badly, really, and we need to get back to winning ways.
How much did you need that result tonight?
Well, I didn't think we played bad against Sheffield. We could have scored a couple of goals, and we conceded 2 silly goals. So they're a good side, well organised. Bournemouth we didn't play at all. It was the worst performance of the season. So I think really you've got to look at the whole season and say we've not done too badly so far. We've had a little stutter the last couple of weeks, and now we've got to get back onto the straight and narrow, as it were.
And 25 goals between you, Duncan Shearer and yourself. That's not bad at this time of the season.
Well, yeah, the goals have been going in. Alan McLaughlin has got 10 as well. So it's nice to have 3 or 4 players scoring goals, yes.
Steve White, thanks very much indeed. Well played. Steve White.